Good morning, children. In this video, we will start with Chapter 2, Human Body, the Skeleton System. Children, in this chapter, we will learn about skeleton, the structure of bones, functions of the skeleton system, different parts of a skeleton, movable and immovable joints, and different types of muscles. Okay. So these are the 6 subtopics that we are going to include in this video. So let's start. Children, our body is an amazing machine. It performs a wide range of activities with the help of different organs which work in perfect coordination. These organs, when work together to perform a single type of task, form an organ system. The different organ systems are skeleton system, nervous system, respiratory system, muscular system, digestive system, and circulatory system. In this chapter, we will learn in detail about the skeleton system. Okay? Skeleton system. We all have a skeleton inside our body. The skeleton is made up of bones that form the framework of our body. Children, the skeletal system forms the basic framework of our body and is made up of bones, as you can see here. Okay? This framework is known as the skeleton and comprises of the skull, the spine, and we call it the backbone also, the spine or the backbone, the rib cage, the limbs, and the girdles. Okay? Now, what would have happened if we had no skeleton inside us? We would have been flat and wiggly like jelly. Have you seen a jelly? It's flat and wiggly and has no shape. So, if we did not have a skeleton inside us, we would have been shapeless too. Okay? So, the skeleton system gives shape to the body. Okay? Now, a newborn baby has more than 300 bones. So how many bones does a newborn baby has? He has more than 300 bones. But as the baby grows, some of these bones fuse together. An adult human being has 206 bones. So how many bones does an adult human being have? They have 206 bones. These bones have different shapes and sizes. Okay? Now, did you know that the longest bone in the human body is the thigh bone, which is called the femur, and the smallest bone in the human body is located in the middle ear and is called the stirrup. Okay? Structure of bones. Bones are hard outside but soft inside. Okay? And you can feel this whenever you touch your bone, that bones are hard outside but they are soft inside. Okay? The center of the bones is soft and spongy and contains a substance called bone marrow. The bone marrow makes the blood cells. What does the bone marrow do? Bone marrow makes the blood cells. Bones are made up of minerals, mainly calcium and phosphorus. So bones are made up of what? Bones are made up of mainly calcium and phosphorus. Okay? And from where do we get calcium? We get calcium from milk. So remember children that you should drink a lot of milk in order to stay strong and healthy. Okay? Functions of the skeleton system. Now these are the functions of the skeleton system. The skeleton system gives shape and structure to our body like the beams of a building. Okay, as I told you before also that the skeletal system gives shape and structure to the body. Okay, now the second function is it protects the internal organs. The skeleton system protects the internal organs. For example, the skull protects the brain, the ribs protect the heart and the lungs, and the backbone protects the spinal cord. Okay, so it protects the internal organs. Then bones help us to move. How? How does bone help us to move? Bones are attached to the muscles. So when the muscles move, the bones move too. This brings about movement. Okay, so you understood how does the bone help us to move? Because bones are attached to the muscles, and when the muscles move, automatically the bones move. Okay, then the bone marrow inside the bones make blood cells. I told you above also that the bone marrow makes blood cells. Okay, now parts of a skeleton. The skeleton has 5 major parts. Okay, 5 major parts. The skull, the backbone or the spine, the rib cage, the bones in the arms and legs, and the girdles. Okay, let's learn about them now. The skull. The skull protects the brain. So what does the skull do? The skull protects the brain, and it also protects sense organs. It also protects the sense organs like the eyes, ears and nose. Okay children, so the skull protects the brain and it also protects the sense organs. Which 3 sense organs? Eyes, ears and nose. The adult human skull is made up of how many bones? 22 bones. Okay, the adult human skull is made up of 22 bones. 8 large flat bones form the cranium and 14 bones form the face. How many bones form the face? 14 bones form the face. The only part of the skull which is movable is the lower jaw, and because of it we are able to eat and talk. So we are able to eat and talk because of the lower jaw, because of the lower jaw being movable. Okay, now the backbone or spine. The backbone or the spine extends from the base of the skull to the lower regions of the back. Okay, so the spine extends from the base of the skull to the lower regions of the back. The backbone is made up of 33 bones. How many bones? 33 bones called the vertebrae. Together they form a column called the vertebral column. The spine protects the delicate spinal cord, which is a bundle of nerves that sends messages from the brain to the different parts of the body. Okay, our different body parts work because of the messages they receive from the brain, and they receive messages with the help of the spinal cord, which is protected by the backbone or the spine. Okay, children, the spine lets us twist and bend as well as hold our body upright. Okay, so if we are able to stand straight, or we are able to bend, or we are able to twist, it is because of the backbone, right? Now the rib cage. The rib cage is made up of 12 pairs of curved bone. The rib cage has curved bones. And how many pairs of curved bones? 12 pairs of curved bones. Each bone is known as a rib. Okay? And collectively they are known as ribs. The ribs are joined to the breastbone in the front and to the backbone at the back. Okay? Only the last two pairs of ribs are known as floating bones. The last two pairs of the ribs are called the floating ribs. Okay? And the floating ribs are not attached to the breastbone, but they are attached to the backbone. Okay? The rib cage protects the heart and the lungs. Now the two internal organs that the rib bone protects is the heart and the lungs. Okay? Now next is the bones in arms and legs. When we write or pick up a thing or a bottle, we use the bones in our arms. Children, you cannot hold a bottle or anything, or a chocolate or anything, without using the bones in your arms. Try it. You will not be able to do it. Okay? So if you have to pick up or you have to hold anything, you have to and you need to use the bones in your arms. Okay? Now, each arm is attached to the shoulder blade or scapula. The upper part of the arm has one long bone called the humerus. The lower part consists of two bones, namely the radius and the ulna. Now see, this is the arm, okay, and the one long bone in the upper part of the arm is the humerus. There are two bones in the lower part of the arms, and they are known as, one is known as radius, the other known as ulna. Okay. The hand and the wrist consist of as many as 54 bones. Okay. Now, the upper part of the leg or thigh has the longest bone in the body called the femur. I told you this before also, that the longest bone in the human body is the thigh bone, okay, and which is found in the upper part of the leg, and it is known as femur. Okay, the part of the leg between the knee and the foot has two bones, namely the tibia and the fibula. The feet is made up of many small bones. Now see, this is the femur, which is the thigh bone, which is found in the upper part of the leg. In the lower part of the leg, between the knee and the foot, has two bones. One is tibia and the other one is known as fibula. And the feet is made up of many small bones. Okay. Now, let's learn about the girdles. The girdles. There are two pair of girdles in the body. Pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. This was explained in this figure also, that there are two pairs of girdles in the body. This is the pectoral girdle and this is the pelvic girdle. Okay. The pectoral girdle consists of the shoulder blade and the collarbone. The upper arm bones are attached to the pectoral girdle. Okay. So the pectoral girdle consists of the collarbone and the shoulder blade and is attached to the pectoral girdle, and the leg bones are attached to the pelvic girdle, and the leg bones are attached, see, the leg bones are attached to the pelvic girdle. Okay. Now joints. What is a joint? Joint is a place where two bones meet. Okay. So in this figure, if we see, this is a joint. This is a place, this is a point where two bones are meeting. So this is a joint, it's a knee joint. Okay. So joint is a place where two bones meet. We are able to bend or move different parts of our body because of the joints. If joints were not there in our body, we wouldn't have been able to move. So we are able to bend, we are able to twist, move different parts of our body because of the joints that we have in our body. Okay. Our body has many joints. If we did not have joints, we would find simple tasks like eating, folding, bending very difficult. Okay. Any movement requiring bending would be impossible. Now you have two types of joints that we will study in this chapter. Joints are of two types, movable and immovable. There are two types of joints, movable and immovable. The joints in the skull are the only joints in our body that cannot move and are called immovable joints. So the immovable joints are found in the skull and they are the only joints in our body that cannot move. Rest, all the joints are movable. Okay. The other joints in our body can move and are called movable joints. The joints that can move are called movable joints and the joints that cannot move are called immovable joints, and immovable joints are found in the skull. Okay. The different kinds of movable joints are ball and socket joint, hinge joint, pivot joint and gliding joint. Okay, about which we will study in the next video. I hope this video will help you. Thank you.